What are you doing?
We're setting up a spring.
A spring. Oh, okay.
So a lot of the guys, I've taken these traps from live in sort of jungle areas and stuff like that, and they take all the trap components in with them. When you go on YouTube, what people have never done a lot of trapping, they kind of cut everything down around them and do it all there.
Okay.
The trouble with that is animals smell things. So they...
So you're saying bring the sticks in yourself?
Yeah, they'll sit back and make all this stuff up back in the village.
Yeah.
Usually hand carry it. And they'll import it to where they want to actually site the traps.
So what are we trapping?
This is what I use as a general purpose trap. So traps all sorts of small animals, mainly things like, I guess in Australia you'd be looking at bandicoots, possums, those type of things. They'll go for this because it uses bait. We'll bait this.
Are you just making it a bit longer?
Yeah. It's now up and not long, it'll be a little bit more length. So the other thing you'll notice with people who've actually done some survival, they'll just wrap it. Because if you
So then you can reuse it?
Yeah, you reuse it for other things time and time again. Once you start cutting things up, you rapidly run out of resources. That would be the first part of one of these traps. And this first trap I'll show you is a simple toggle trap. So this is for that. I'll show you how that works. Some there, there. It's a little white. Oh, good, aren't they?
I love the sound.
That's intense. I'm just doing it for fun now.
Yeah, I know, they are so much fun to use.
So that's the first part of the trap. And this is the main part of the trap.
So we need to find a piece of wood that sort of stick that shape.
Yep, that would have been a branch that way with a smaller offshoot.
Yep.
And then we just reverse that, and you've got a peg that you can drive into the ground. And this arm is what we're going to wrap this little toggle around here on the end of the swing. So that's going to actually sit under there. It'll go over like that and hold itself under tension.
Yep.
So I'll settle that up and show you how it all looks. Now we're going to use like a simple lasso.
So do we need like a nutter or something to hammer it into the ground? Or just a rock?
Yeah. So we'll just trim off the top of these things here just to stop them fraying away so much. And this is about where this is going to go. That is dry, hard soil after.
There goes your thumb. No. That would be a typical me thing.
You sometimes wonder if it's going to hurt if that misses.
Yeah. So I need to get a rock that big.
Imagine a nutter. Well.
So that's all I've got to do is make sure that it doesn't pull out.
Yep.
With this spring tension here. So this is simply one long piece of string tied around the hand. A little toggle stick tied in the middle. And that toggle stick's the one that we go through here. Or like that. Okay. So when that's going to be held there by another stick in a second.
Yep.
And then it releases that way.
Uh-huh.
Cool. And that, all it does is set the noose. I'll set the noose in the end of this string, which is here.
Okay.
So it can be used in a whole stack of different ways. We're going to set it up for what we call a bait stick method, which just means another stick. So this doesn't really do anything except hold the other end of the stick in place. That's all it does. These big sticks underneath here, we just move out of the way. We don't want to disturb that very much at all. And then this will get cut to size. So we do that with your U-dip. Check it please. So put this down under tension. Actually, in fact, an entire art to this, because and one that's pretty well lost, because there's only 2 breeds of people that kept this type of system alive in the Western world anyway.
Yeah.
Special Forces soldiers, like people from my background, or poachers.
Oh.
Both of whom are guilty of doing dodgy things most of the time, not wanting to get caught. So when we're on the run from an enemy group, if we get cut off behind enemy lines and stuff, we want our traps out to feed ourselves.
Yeah.
But we don't want those traps to be discovered. So we get quite cunning at where to put them and how to put them, so they're less likely to be discovered. And that just incidentally happens to be the same skill set that a poacher requires, because he's trying not to get caught.
Yeah.
So other than that, in terms of the survival community,
Yeah.
all they're doing is reproducing the same stuff from books and books and books.
Yeah.
There's very few people with actual trapping knowledge around. It
So-
makes it different in terms of how you apply these things. Because
Yeah.
most people would camouflage that up now,
Yes.
which doesn't make any sense if you think about it, because how does an animal see this world?
Mm.
Smells it mainly, doesn't it?
Mm.
So why would you make it? That's why these things are imported into the location, because
Yeah.
otherwise the animal will smell.
But wouldn't they smell it as an unusual material? Wouldn't the material in that area
All
be...
the stuff should be from the local area, and we're lucky with lantana. While it's an imported species, most of the wildlife in an area like this is used to the smell of lantana. It's very strong, so when you make up parts with it, it's kind of stuff they're
But
used to smelling.
why wouldn't you... Is it because they can smell fresh cuts? Is that what you're saying?
Mainly this stuff, where we've been digging, and where I have skin casts on the ground.
Yeah.
So the more I linger in an area, the more my own scent drops on the ground. And some of that will burn off. But if I come in and clear a whole area and I make all these parts up, sitting here on this log from a tree like here, I'm making a lot of scent.
Right, okay.
And I'm leaving a lot of scent, which
Yeah.
means then animals walk past it and go like, nah, that's just bad.
Yeah,
Don't
don't
go
go near that spot.
That's stuff that doesn't really get gripped up in very many modalities of training, because it's just a lost art.
Yeah.
So, and this works really simply. So this is a bidirectional noose. They can be set lower than this, they can be set with greater sensitivity, but basically this is designed just to collapse. This one's got a slight bow in it. I like that because it makes it roll. So you'd put bait here on the stick, and you'd use something with paste or the guts of a dead animal or something,
Yeah.
whatever it is you're going to try and lure your next meal in with. But you put it here, and you make sure it's nice and secure. So this animal's got to come in, so it'll come, there might be an animal run here, it'll smell that, come in and go, that's tasty, I want to have a bit of that, and it'll gnaw at the stick, and then it'll catch that noose goes around it.
Right, and then it will run
And then
tighter.
it'll boom, and it'll end up working against this spring.
Yeah.
It just works. And what I learned to do years ago, trapping rabbits, was to give them a hidey hole, just long enough to be reached by that spring. And
Yeah.
go to that and hide.
Yep.
Pretty,
And then they'll sit there.
and they'll just sit there and wait.
Come back.
They won't know what they're waiting for. So when you guys set it up, you just got to be careful you keep your head clear of it. It'll flick this up quite a speed. And there's other things you can do to enhance this. You can make sure they only come in from that direction, so don't trip over bits and pieces or set it off prematurely. So you can use, if you put a rock or a log here,
Oh yeah.
they'll only come in this direction.
Yeah.
And it allows them to come in from both sides, or you can pin them off completely.
Cool. And you can make it as big as you want it, or
As big as you want to. You can modify this system quite easily into all sorts of other traps. So that's why that one's in the repertoire that I teach here at school.
okay.
So if I put a hole underneath that here, and put the same trigger stick down lower, now I can actually put basically like a treadle of other sticks across it,
Yeah.
and they form a drop plate.
Oh, okay.
Makes sense? So I'd have a whole layer of sticks both sides over that hole, so when something stood in the hole, they're still doing that.
Right. Yeah.
And then in the hole, that's around their leg. And then
Yep.
this might be tied to something else, like we call it a drag log. So this its job is just to set the noose, and off here I have another bit of rope that goes to a log that can drag around.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, what's to stop them just yanking on that?
No,
and they're off and away.
This is only to set the noose.
Right.
Unless it's a small animal, in which case this is sort of strong enough to hold.
Yeah. Cool.
So human beings are very clever at sort of catching food. That stick there is holding that toggle. And that toggle's got to go over the top, and you want this nice and clear, so as it spins it doesn't catch anything else. And then you just push that down, and all this does is just sits there, just the slightest bit of tension. And then just very carefully, without disturbing that stick, just drop the noose over the top. And try and picture what the animal would be moving like. So these low parts here,
Yeah.
you want them nice and flat. So the animal, because this is up like that, this guy's going to pick up that and
Yeah, that's right.
it'll fire, but he won't
Won't really catch them. Yeah.
You want to make sure that whereas
So you wouldn't sort of, so that didn't get caught, you wouldn't, sort of dig a little ravine and then sort of stick it under so that his feet or its feet aren't really going to hook on it.
you can just lightly anchor it.
But then we're
most of
rubbing the
time-
soil with
yeah,
our
more
oils and that'll make it smell.
This stuff's got a nylon coating on it, so what we can do with this is bend it.
Oh,
as well,
okay.
to actually make it sit flat,
Oh, yeah.
flat to it.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. So it sits flatter.
And often we put a couple of natural objects in that immediate
To
area
stop them
just to
from coming
stop
in that
them
direction.
disturbing it.
Yeah.
It's certainly more than just that crappy weed.
Yeah, yeah.
You want to put that.
So this is quite firm, like you really have to pull it quite hard and then tuck it under. Just pull this out. So bearing in mind we don't touch very much, because the more we touch, the more our oils and smells get on our trap. We have to open our little noose and then lay it over. Be careful not to set it, because you catch yourself or your eye otherwise. And lay it nice and flat without touching the ground too much, otherwise the animals won't come because they will smell your fingers. And there we go, trap is set. Did you catch yourself?
I did. So you wrap it around like this.
So now you've been
Yeah.
Put the two sticks. touching the ground.
Now, pretend your foot is an animal, maybe. Oh, is that a fail or a win?
That animal would have went flying.
What we do is basically we put a counterweight on deadfall weight, which is this big rock.
Yep.
So when we choose that, it's got to be bigger than the animal we're going to
Oh, okay.
catch. So it's got to be about 5 times its weight,
Yep.
otherwise it won't be enough to keep it there. So we're looking at literally knocking it on the head. And then basically there's a whole stack of different ways we can do this. We can sort of cut a little groove in a single post and sort of sit like that. I find they're most stable when I just make a little V-shaped
Yep.
Y. You can point this and tap it into the ground as well.
Mm-hmm.
If you're really struggling to get it to set. And this one's designed just to sort of sit. It usually has to sit in a little bit of dig it out a bit to make it sort of sit there permanently. Now what I do here is literally I'm going to sort of have this all. This is what I call it the frustration trap, because everyone does their head in trying to get this thing to all balance. So that weight there. So this line or stick holds up the weight of the rock. This thing then wraps around. This is a bit too short. Let's pop this back a bit more.
What? Sorry.
And there's a fine balancing act, as you can imagine, with everything involved. So this one goes out here a bit more. So to make this shorten, I just do one twist over. So I'm just adjusting now to get it to all balanced. Like that. And I'll get this now to twist around the post. So it's quite a tight twist. I have to have it at the front a bit. So basically, that then is holding up the rock.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'll put another bit of stick here, like we did over there, that piece of stick. So it's where I put the bait. The bait will be on the very end of it, and I'll lock it up in against the rock. I just have to adjust it to fit. So basically when that gets knocked out of the way, so the guy puts his head in here, nibbles at the bait stick, which I've got stuck on the end of this, that undoes, and that goes down.
Oh.
And it's about as exciting as it gets, but that's faster than the all wooden traps. But this will frustrate you. It frustrates everybody.
Yeah. So you're saying the 4-figure trap just takes ages to make?
They're too slow.
Oh, in actual catching.
Yeah.
Ah.
These ones are more finicky to set, but they fire faster. If that makes sense.
A lot of patience required.
Yes. I usually give this to any sort of prospective.
I can't imagine too many. Like you'd normally be using a much larger rock, would you?
No, the bigger the rock, the more difficult it is to set these up.
But like, wouldn't most animals wriggle out from under that rock?
What I normally do is I have this usually set on a rock, so you get rock on rock.
Oh, okay.
You get a slam thing.
Right.
That's why I have this off here, so I can actually have another rock. And I'll just flatten out this area, dig this area out, or find a rock. There's one down there.
Yeah.
So I sit on top of those. I might just have this set off to the side of it.
Yeah.
So at the base, so that rock there would fall on that rock, on them. That's the best way to do it, because then you get that rock to rock contact, and they don't dig out from underneath that. Because rats, being rats,
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
They do. So,
Have you actually eaten a rat?
yeah, several times.
Did you need to?
At the time,
It's like my worst fear.
Well, I can think of worse things to eat. I'd actually prefer to eat a rat over a witchley grub.
witchy grub's actually really quite tasty.
Really?
That's
Wouldn't they
supposed to
be
be-
really like moist and whoa?
Moist.
Yeah, I'm thinking like custard.
I like them roasted.
Oh, does it firm up when you roast them?
Yeah, a bit like it gets to more like a thick custardy.
It's still custard,
Yeah.
warm custard.
It's
It's
actually
more
quite-
like pudding.
It's actually
Witchy
still
grub
quite
is
nice.
pudding.
It's dessert.
Yeah, think of it as dessert. But they're really rich in protein, so they're really quite nutritious from that point of view. And they're far of some of the bush tuckers kicking around. They probably look the worst, but they
Yeah.
probably taste better than a lot of the other stuff. That's
Okay.
What other stuff were you thinking about?
flying fox is not one of my favourites. It's
Oh,
got a
really?
really funny taste to it, like a real gamey flavour.
Oh.
What's the weirdest thing you ate?
Probably stuff I don't even know what it was.
Something somebody else cooked. I caught it, just eat it.
Yeah. And I've had to do that quite a lot from a career point of view, because as a special forces soldier, we work a lot with local force militia groups. And sometimes you're just eating what they're eating and hoping they're not dying. So but some of
It's a lot of salt.
yeah. Some of the flavours and I'm sure most of the time they go out of their way to sort of just watch. And they go like, will the white fella eat this? And they're just watching for the reaction. You see like, yeah, this is good, look, great. And they go like, bugger, I thought he'd vomit. Yeah, you do, but after. Out of sight.
Oh no.
Sounds like Laura made me eat pig's ears. No, just 2 bites, swallow, nah, not doing it.
So you guys got an idea of how that works? We can set it up next. So
Yes.
about that angle. So
Yep.
you want enough angle for your critter to come in here.
Yep.
Head first, so you put the bait at that end, usually on this stick.
Yep.
That way he's got to sort of nibble away there, bang, and he goes down.
Cool.
That's right.
It just looks so easy, not?
It's harder. You're left to right-handed.
Right.
So you might find it easier on this side.
Oh,
I was just doing it. I was just doing that side so you guys could see.
Oh, okay.
And I just like to frustrate myself and test myself.
Don't let it fall on your finger.
Oh, cool. Thanks for the tips.
You're dead. You're dead.
When I run, so I have a whole what I call a survival hunting and trapping course.
Yep.
It's like used to do it in part of
Yep. Yes.
frustration. It was a lot more to it authentically.
It didn't work. Oh my goodness, you would be just heartbroken if you were in a survival situation. You just spent the last 2 hours trying to set the silly trap. An animal hops in and it survives.
Rather just eat ants. Just lick
It's a
it.
skill. After a while, it becomes
Second
you
nature.
become more aware of where the sticky little points are and how to make it all work effectively.
that's it from us today. Thanks for watching. It seems the Okatsuni secateurs were the stars.
I don't know about you, but we learnt a lot this week, and one of those things was never try to set up a 4-figure trap. We hope you enjoy, and don't forget to subscribe.
We hope you had fun watching, and we'll see you next week when we attempt to build our very own shelter. Will we be protected from the rain? You'll have to wait and see.